Hi folks, so continuing on from our revision of marketing 4Ps, we're going to do some more marketing revision today with a couple of activities. So what I'm going to do first off, we've got to fill in the gaps. I think we did this in class maybe at the time, but it doesn't matter, we'll redo it, it's part of our revision. So what I'm going to do, we've got some sentences at the top, fill in the gaps, we've got 5-6 gaps there, and then a table to fill in. Adding value is the ultimate goal of research, development teams, and marketing departments. So adding value is a common misconception. People get it wrong, and it is something that you can use in many different contexts. Okay, this will add value to the product, but what I find is that students don't use it quite correctly. Okay, so let's revise that and talk about that. So fill that in. And then product orientation and market orientation, which on the old course used to get questioned quite a lot. Even though it's only one bullet point on the spec, they did turn it quite frequently into 10 markers and 12 markers. There was 12 markers on the old course. So I wanted to revise that, make sure that we're crystal clear on that. And then customer trials and test markets, which again is one of those things that people get wrong and can be a really good source of primary research, but people don't often choose it. Okay, 1 or 2 of you did in the mock, but not many, and I think it would have been a really good one to talk about in that Mars protein bar mock paper you did. Okay, so give yourself, 5-10 minutes, and then we'll talk about some answers shortly. Okay, so I've got my answer sheet here, so let's have a look then. So adding value means creating a product that is worth more to the customer than the materials used. Okay, so the definition is that it's not the same as profit, it's what the business manages to add on to the raw materials or the cost of getting the product in. So obviously a supermarket isn't making anything, so they're buying in products to sell, milk, rice, eggs, whatever it is, and then the difference between their cost price and the selling price is the value that they can add. Okay, so it's a little bit like gross profit, which I think you've done in Unit 2. But again, I wouldn't combine the two ideas. This is purely about adding value. So what does the business do to take these raw materials or take these finished goods, these stocks, and how do they add as much value as possible onto that cost, okay, onto that price, okay? So for example, at Starbucks, 75 cents of coffee beans, milk, and flavorings turns into a selling price of $3.50. The $2.75 of value added pays for staff, equipment, sofas, rent, and hopefully should still leave some profit at the end. Okay, so adding value is the ultimate goal of research and development teams and marketing departments, and we'll look at why that is in a second. And to do this, they could be convenient, so they're adding value through convenience. So like 7-Eleven add value through convenience. Because they're everywhere, MTRs in really convenient places, people are willing to pay a little extra because it's so convenient. You just pop in and pop out and it's very, very fast, okay? Branding, obviously that's a major way that companies add value. Nike, Apple, all businesses, all designer clothes are adding value to the raw materials through their brand. Quality, so people might be willing to pay a higher price because it's a high quality, reliable product. So Audi, BMW, they add value through their quality and their public perception. Unique selling point, maybe you're adding value because you own a patent, nobody can copy your design, or maybe you've got a unique design, or you're doing something new and unique. Okay, so just obviously that's pretty self-explanatory. People will be willing to pay a premium for something that's unique and new to the market. Location, so obviously I always use the airport example for this one. Restaurants in airports are adding value through having that prime location of being in an airport, and people have to pay whatever price you're asking for. Okay, so location can often be a way of adding value. Okay, a lot of hotels would add value by having expensive drinks and food in the hotel because people are enjoying the holiday and they're less likely to leave, so they're adding value by having that restaurant located in their hotel. Okay, or probably one of the most basic ones is processing. So I always use the example of oranges, turning oranges into orange juice. You're taking that raw material of oranges, squeezing them, bottling them, putting them in shops. The value added is through the processing of the raw materials. Okay, so adding value is about what is the business doing to take those raw materials and make them worth more to the consumer. Okay, and obviously it's the core aim and principle of all business. If you're not adding value, you're not an operating business. You're not going to be very successful. Okay. So let's move on then. Product orientation and market orientation, as I said in the introduction, very frequently asked on the old course. We don't have many new course papers, so we can make an assumption that it might pop up again. Okay. So product orientation focuses. Should be on product quality, because they're focusing on product quality. The business creates the best product they can using their expertise and experience. They believe that high quality products will always sell. This is an inward looking approach to marketing. So you basically, you don't follow trends, you don't follow market research, you don't follow the competition. You believe that a high quality product will always sell, and you do what you're good at, and you do what you become an expert in. Okay, so I think you could argue that Apple in the past have been quite product orientated. They produce products to the best quality and were quite an inward looking company. Okay, but then market orientation focuses on consumers and heavy investment and reliance on market research. Businesses are constantly trying to meet customers' wants, and most businesses operate in this way. So most businesses do conduct lots and lots of market research, lots of surveys, lots of feedback, and make the changes that people want. Okay, and I think Apple is more of a market-orientated company where they use small iterative improvements on their smartphones, bringing in features that people wanted, looking at the competition, wide-angle lenses, larger screens, having multiple cameras, which the competition were there first, and then Apple have followed that trend. Okay, and then they will probably follow the trend with the new phones with high refresh screens, maybe 5G, and things that Samsung are doing now, Apple will then copy. So that gives an indication that they're more market orientated than they were. Okay? So, nearly there. So I wanted to make this video short today, but I'm rabbiting on, I apologize. So, customer trials and test markets, both methods of primary research. Maybe test markets is less so, but customer trials definitely is a primary research method. So consumer trials are free samples of products that has just been or is just about to be released, so consumers can try the product, and this would encourage sales. Feedback can be gathered and it may lead to repeat purchases, although there is a cost involved and their scope is usually quite small. Okay, so this is like free samples in a supermarket or free samples in a shop or something where people can try the product, it's being demonstrated, and you can try it and get feedback and make changes, or just use it as a testing ground for how popular you think the product might be. Okay? Test markets then are small-scale releases of a product to gain an idea of the initial demand and popularity. The release could be just one store, so you do a trial run in one store or one region or even a whole country. So a large company might test market in their home country and then think about moving it abroad. If the product proves to be successful, a full-scale release can be executed. Test markets have lower risks and can be a good way to check the market before investing too heavily. Okay, so these are good when you're talking about entering new markets, maybe dynamic markets, anything about research or entering new markets, anything like that, then you can talk about customer trials and test markets as ways to test the water before jumping in and investing a lot of time and money. Okay, so that's task one today. Easy bit of revision on adding value, orientation, and trials and test markets. Okay. So the second sheet is going to be some more exam questions. I know we've done a lot of exam questions recently. I wanted to do that mind map last week to break up the exam questions. So you've got same information. I keep firing this down your head every single time. How do we analyze? Well, we use two-step chains, the logical chains, we use these sentence starters, and we always need to write in context and link it to our point. Whatever the point is we've made, one benefit is, this is because. Okay? Evaluate, obviously we're giving counterpoints. We could use time scale, we could use magnitude, we could use some link to the type of business and market. And then conclusions, we need a final option, yes, no, one over the other, and justify why you've taken it. You could use it depends, so it would depend on, and what other information might you need in order to make a better judgment. Okay? Hopefully when we're back in class we can do a bit more work on conclusions, because generally they're pretty rubbish in the mock. Okay? So, I don't know if we've looked at this case study before. We're going to do some questions on Primark. So have a read through the case study. Remember, basic questions. Who are they? What do they sell? What is the market like? What are they doing well? What are they doing badly? Okay? And then I've given you the 2 and the 4 to answer. So define the term product portfolio. Okay, think back to Boston Matrix, product portfolio. We've got a YED calculation to do. Dead straightforward. I've then written the C question for you. So analyze 2 possible difficulties Primark might face from selling to a mass market. Quite similar to one of the questions on the Mars question. This appears quite a lot. And I've written what I think would be a 6 marker. Okay, and then I've highlighted where I'm showing knowledge, where I'm showing application, and then where I'm showing analysis. I'm not going to read that out to you, that would take too long, but please read through this entire thing. Notice what I'm saying AO1 is, what I'm saying AO2 is, and know what I'm saying AO3 is. I know we have done this type of task many, many times, but I really want people to work on their exam technique. It was still a bit ropey in the mock, so I really want people to work on their exam technique. And I think reading sample answers and like pretty perfect answers is the way to practice and copy how you need to be writing. Okay? We've then got another one, discuss the benefits of Primark of using a cost plus pricing system. Again, you could have used that in the chocolate question on your mark. What I want you to do this time is, so this is an 8 mark answer, I want you to highlight the AO1, AO2, AO3. We've done this in class before, we've done it in home learning. Highlight 1 to 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then what I want you guys to do is read the innocent case study. So these are all real questions, by the way. I've not written them. You can see these are stolen from a past paper and your course as well, not another course. And based on what you've just read, I want you to have a go at these 4 questions. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a little bit of work. I don't want to overwhelm you with endless exam questions, but have a go at these 4. So we've got define the term entrepreneur. That's a HR question, obviously. Supply and demand. So construct a supply and demand diagram. You might need to do that on a bit of paper, take a picture of your phone and paste it in, airdrop it in. Analyze 2 factors that are likely to affect the demand. So remember, we're looking for AO1, AO2, oops, can't type, and AO3 times 2. Okay, and if you're writing many more than kind of 7, 8 sentences, you're writing too much. Okay, it needs to be concise and short. Okay, you could get away with 6 sentences. Okay, one factor that could affect demand is, this is shown in the case study by, as a result. Then a second paragraph, a second factor that could affect demand is, this is shown in the case study when this could lead to. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. And then finally, discuss the benefits of market segmentation. It must be 2-sided. I know it's only asking for benefits, but it must be, what's wrong with my typing today? It must be 2-sided. Okay, so discuss the benefits. One benefit of market segmentation is, this benefits innocent by, this is shown in the case study. On the other hand, this could be outweighed by or countered by or something, and then 2 paragraphs. I would probably go 2 times PEAJ paragraphs, just like we were doing with those tables when we were doing the skateboarding task. Okay, so 2 PEAJs, similar to the skateboarding tables. Okay, can't spell similar, moron. Okay, right, that's the work for today. That should take you, 10 minutes for the starter. Reading through these another 10, 15 minutes, and then these questions here, we've got what, 2, 6, 12, 20 marks, so we're looking at about 30, 35 minutes. So it should be about a single lesson. Okay? Any questions? We'll probably have a Google Meet at the start of the lesson. And yeah, spot on.